Traveling through the world of pirates, Morin gained an incredible understanding at the beginning. He created the Daoxin Demon Cultivation Technique and became the co-captain of the Rox Pirates. Morin turned the person who practiced his pioneering body technique on the sea into his leek.Kapu. It can't be moved at all. Kedo's Kong Bu 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 Tong's body is too hard. Eagle Eye. Morin's breathing technique ushered in a new era of swordsmanship. Lonely Red. Absolutely outrageous. The Zizi Jiyi Gong created by Morin is even more terrifying than my innate aura. Watching people all over the sea practicing his physical skills, Morin confidently said, although you may make a small profit, I will never lose. As physical techniques spread more and more, this sea entered the era of gross techniques. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Deputy Captain of the Morox Regiment. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. New World, Hive Island. Hachi knows. Everyone in the New World knows that this is the most dangerous place in the New World. But in the eyes of the pirates, this is actually a paradise for them. This is the headquarters of the most powerful pirate group in the New World, the Rox Pirates. Captain Morin's cultivation is over. I don't know which pirate shouted, and the entire Rox Pirates team immediately became excited. I don't know what terrifying physique Lord Morin has created this time. Kaido is clearly just a newcomer, but he relies on Lord Morin's creation of the diamond not to be bad. His physique is no less than that of the cadre, Lord Charlotte Lingling. I don't know if Lord Morin's physical fitness is suitable for me this time, I need to go and see it soon. The pirates swarmed towards the direction outside the beach, and the vast beach suddenly became quiet. Kuralala, Morin rarely shows up, but his captain's prestige is still high among the Rox Pirates. In the skull-like building in the center of Beehive Island, a man with long golden hair and a muscular figure burst out laughing. This man is one of the cadres of the Rox Pirates, Edward Newgate, who is known as a monster. Although Morin has only been here for a year, his position in the pirate group is no less than that of Rox. It's really unbelievable. A bearded person with messy long hair followed along. Golden Lion, if your strength can also be on par with Captain Locke's and you can create powerful physical skills for your subordinates, you can also receive such treatment. A woman with pink wavy long hair and a slender figure burst into laughter. Lingling, do you want to fight? The Golden Lion's expression stiffened as he held on to the two famous swords at his waist. You're not Captain Locke's or Vice Captain Morin, do you think I'm afraid of you? Charlotte Lingling said without showing any weakness. As cadres of the Rox Pirates, they did not truly join the Rox Pirates. They are a highly individualistic group gathered for treasure, and even their companions on the same boat often kill each other, making them a very cruel group. As they watched the two men about to start fighting, Silver Axe and John not only did not stop them, but they silently made way for the two of them. You actually have the intention to fight here. Aren't you curious about what kind of body technique Morin created this time? Watching the two of them preparing to take action, Edward Newgate asked them. Humph. The two of them snorted fiercely and coldly, but in the end, they still didn't take action. As Newgate said, they were all curious about what terrifying technique Morin had come up with. Please keep your voice down, if you disturb Lord Morin, I will kill you all. In front of an ordinary small building, a man who was 5 meters tall, with muscles all over his body and a wolf-toothed stick in hand, shouted at the surrounding pirates. Kaido is really arrogant. If it weren't for Lord Morin, how could Kaido have the current strength? Looking at the man holding a wolf-toothed stick, the pirates around him were filled with jealousy. Kaido only joined the Rox Pirates 3 months ago, although he had already been named a monster on the sea before. But in the monster-infested Rox Pirates, Kedo's strength can only be said to be so. Kaido joined the Rox Pirates as an intern pirate. According to normal development, Kaido will only become a regular team member in a few years. But after a man named Morin became the co-captain of the Rox Pirates, Kedo's fate changed. Morin has launched a free physical skill called Diamond Immortal for members of the Rogue Pirates to learn. This body art can enhance a person's physical defense like armed color domineering, and its ability is like armed color domineering. At the beginning, the pirates of the Rox Pirates didn't pay much attention because they were members of the Rox Pirates, and each of them had a dual-tone dominance. But after Kaido practiced this physical technique, they changed their views. This body art seems to be tailor-made for Kaido. Kaido's physique was originally at the monster level, but with the blessing of this physical skill, his physique is no weaker than Charlotte Lingling, known as the Steel Balloon. This is also why Kaido can deter so many ordinary pirates. The other pirates, after practicing the Vajra Immortal, although their progress was not as great as Kai's, their strength was more than 30% stronger than before. This is also why these pirates were so eager to hear about the end of Morin's practice. They all want to be the next Kaido. The pirates gathered more and more, and all the pirates looked eagerly at the entrance of the small building. They all want to know if Captain Morin has developed any physical skills this time, and if they are suitable for practicing this physical skill. Squeak. As the pirates were about to see through, the door was slowly pushed open. A man with black hair slowly walked out of the door. Captain Morin. At the moment when this man appeared, the neat cries of the pirates echoed through Hachinos. This man is the Vice Captain Morin of the Rox Pirates, the man that all pirates yearn for. The new book set sail. If you feel that this book is still good, please support it with flowers. Thank you all. Chapter 2. The breathing technique that disrupts the swordsman system, Gene. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Have you learned any new techniques this time, Captain Morin? At the moment when Morin appeared, Kado, who had just been aloof, enthusiastically lifted a huge sun umbrella over Morin's head. Although the other pirates despised Kaido's approach, when they heard Kaido ask their most concerned question, all the pirates raised their ears. Of course. Morin slowly spat out these two words in his mouth, and then he took out a dozen or so photo-taking phone worms. So many, are these all new body techniques? Looking at the phone worms in front of them, the pirates became restless in a low voice. These are all swordsmanship. I didn't expect you, Morin, to create such a swordsmanship. The sound of shock from the Golden Lion came. After learning about Morin's appearance, the cadres of the Rox Pirates rushed towards this place. Because the Golden Lion floats in the air, he can easily see the ingenuity of the body technique created by Morin at a glance. As a great swordsman on this vast sea, the Golden Lion has never seen this kind of swordsmanship. No, this cannot be called swordsmanship, but rather some form of auxiliary technique that enhances swordsmanship. The Golden Lion has been fighting on the sea for so many years, and he has never heard of any physical techniques that can enhance swordsmanship. This body technique was specifically created by me for swordsmen. Using breathing techniques not only enhances swordsmen's stamina, but also greatly enhances their swordsmanship power. This is the breathing method of fire, this is the breathing method of thunder, this is the breathing method of water. Morin's fingers turned towards the ghosting phone worms, and with each breath he uttered, the shock in the eyes of the Golden Lion and others grew even stronger. How do you feel that this breathing technique is similar to my soul fruit, and can use various natural abilities? This is Charlotte Lingling's idea after reading this physical exercise. If this physical technique is popularized on the sea, it will have the greatest impact on swordsmen. The Golden Lion's expression was somewhat insane. As the strongest swordsman of the time, the Golden Lion knows what the popularization of this physical skill means. This physical technique not only enhances the swordsman's physique, but more importantly, each breathing technique has a corresponding swordsmanship. Once the breathing technique is popularized throughout the sea, will anyone else in this vast sea specifically understand the slashing technique? The Golden Lion seems to have seen the end of this traditional swordsmanship on the sea. Morin, I didn't expect you to be not only a master of physical arts, but also a great swordsman. The Golden Lion's eyes towards Morin were full of shock. He could feel the subtlety of swordsmanship in these breathing techniques, which even the Golden Lion had not reached. Being able to create such a powerful breathing technique indicates that Morin's expertise in swordsmanship is also extraordinary. This is not the scariest thing yet. The most terrifying thing is that the threshold for these breathing techniques is very low, and it can almost be said that individuals can practice them. The greatest significance of this breathing technique is that it can make everyone a swordsman. The Golden Lion himself is already one of the top swordsmen on the sea. He has seen many swordsmanship on the sea, but the breathing technique created by Morin is simply beyond his imagination. Morin, are you sure you want to announce this body art? If this martial art is passed down, it will be a prosperous era for swordsmen. The Golden Lion asked Morin seriously. This breathing technique did not increase the upper limit of swordsmen's combat power, but it greatly lowered the entry threshold for swordsmen. Morin can build a powerful force with this breathing technique. As long as Morin wants to do it, within a maximum of 10 years, the title of the swordsmanship country in the country of he will change hands. It can't be a breathing technique exclusively for swordsmen. I think there's someone holding a wolf tooth stick over there. Kaido's fingers turned to the video recording the breathing technique of Iwaki. In the video, Morin uses a heavy wolf tooth club, and every blow he makes destroys the ground in an unsightly manner, making him look very domineering. Kaido was the first person to experience the power of Morin's creation technique. Even though Morin created a sword-like technique this time, Kaido did not give up searching for a suitable technique for himself. It's not that only those who hold swords can be called swordsmen, swordsmen can also use other weapons. Morin smiled at Kaido. My son Katakuri uses a trident, so he can also practice this breathing technique to become a swordsman. Charlotte Lingling's eyes lit up, and she felt her pattern suddenly opened up. When it comes to the number of cadres under her command, no one can compare with Charlotte Lingling. Charlotte Lingling has started the South Flow development mode now, and she has more than 10 children. It's just that her children are still young and haven't formed a fighting force yet. If those children were to start practicing the techniques developed by Morin from a young age, then 10 years later they would all be an excellent support for Charlotte Lingling to dominate the sea. With this breathing technique, the combat power of the Rox Pirates has increased. Whitebeard couldn't help but sigh as he looked at so many breathing techniques. Collection, flowers, and review tickets are important data for new books. Please support them with flowers and review tickets. 1 or 2 flowers are not too few, and 100 or 1,000 flowers are not too many. Chapter 3. Navy Stealing to Learn Breathing Techniques, coming soon. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Captain Morin, can all of us practice? Watching the breathing techniques that could borrow natural energy, the ordinary pirates of the Rox Pirates began to breathe heavily one by one. The demon fruits of the natural series are known as the strongest demon fruits, and those captains each possess extremely terrifying strength, which they do not admire. But for ordinary pirates, they are envious of the body techniques created by Morin. Previously, Morin's Kong was not bad, which greatly enhanced their physical strength, which is why they are so concerned about when Morin will pass the level. Of course. Morin gave them a positive answer, and the pirates immediately cheered. When the pirates of the Rox Pirates began practicing breathing with Morin's shadow phone worm, several phone worms disappeared silently. Quickly, several telephone worms disappeared from Beehive Island and arrived at Maria, and then from Maria to the Navy headquarters in Marinfando. Breath of Water, Type 4, Strike Tide. Marinfando, the golden pila in Guillaume's hand wielded a tidal wave of relentless slashes. At this moment, the calm sea was completely torn apart by Guillaume's slash. This breathing method can strengthen cardiovascular function and greatly improve a person's physical fitness in a short period of time. As long as one practices regularly, it can enhance one's physical fitness. After demonstrating the breathing technique of water, Ziyuan expressed her own experience to Steel Bone Kong and the Warring States period. This breathing technique can be accompanied by elemental attacks, but its ability to enhance physical fitness is what the top naval officials value the most. Morin actually created a body technique specifically designed to strengthen the swordsman's physique. Remembering the swordsmanship performed by Ziyuan, the heart of the Warring States period was filled with shock. All of this started when Morin became the co-captain of the Rox Pirates. An unknown person suddenly joined the Rox Pirates and even became the co-captain of the Rox Pirates. As soon as Morin joined the Rox Pirates, he created an invincible Vajra technique. Unfortunately, the Navy at that time believed that Navy Type 6 was the strongest physical skill in this vast sea, and they did not attach much importance to this skill at all. They only tasted the bitter fruit when they fought against the Rox Pirates. The physique and strength of those pirates have greatly increased, and the Navy and the Rox Pirates were defeated in battle. Now the Navy has been beaten by the Rox Pirates in the New World and has no place to stand. Morin was only then taken seriously by the world government. When they learned that Morin had started creating a closed-door body technique again, spies from the world government made this the most important task. So not long after Morin announced the breathing method to the Rox Pirates, the world government and naval headquarters also received a video. In order to verify the effectiveness of the breathing technique, the Warring States period directly instructed the sister of the crane, Ziyuan, to practice the water-breathing technique on site. To the surprise of all of them, this breathing technique had an impact on Gion's physique and swordsmanship. Although young, Ziyuan is considered the strongest swordsman in the Navy in terms of swordsmanship cultivation. Even the Warring States had expectations of becoming a naval general for Gion. This water-breathing technique actually has a significant impact on the strength of Ziyuan, which indicates that it is applicable to all navies. There are many generals and sailors in the Navy who use swordsmanship. As long as breathing techniques are popularized throughout the sea, the Warring States believed that the Navy's strength was definitely faster than that of the Rox Pirates. Warring States period, perhaps our Navy will soon have a fourth general. Watching Ziyuan demonstrate the breathing technique of water in the sky, General Crane's eyes were filled with joy. It's hard to imagine that such a powerful physical skill was created by a person in a short period of time. Kapu chewed on the fairy shell in his mouth, and a hint of shock flashed through his eyes. This is not the limit yet. According to intelligence, in addition to the breathing method of water, there are also the breathing methods of fire and thunder. It's just that the world government has only given us a water-breathing method. When Crane and Cap were shocked, Admiral Steel Bone Kong, who served as the Navy Marshal, revealed a news that made them feel even more shocked. The world government has already experimented with breathing methods. Morin tampered with the telephone worms used in breathing techniques, and apart from the ones stolen by spies, the images replicated by the world government using the telephone worms cannot be used for cultivation. Isn't this type of physical technique that can make swordsmen stronger only the water-breathing technique? If our Navy can master all breathing techniques, then our power to defend justice will be at least 10 times greater. As a naval staff officer, he understands how important this matter is to the Navy. The Navy is the cornerstone of upholding justice in the sea, and every improvement in their strength is of great help in upholding justice. Compared to Rox, this Morin is the scariest guy. Looking at the calm sea of Marinfando, Steel Sky felt that the sea was about to start a fierce storm. The source of this storm is the physical spell created by Morin. Collection, flowers, and review tickets are important data for new books. Please support them with flowers and review tickets. 1 or 2 flowers are not too few, and 100 or 1,000 flowers are not too many. Chapter 4. Daoxin seeds demons, Morin becomes stronger and stronger. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Has the cultivation technique I created been noticed by the Navy headquarters? Surprisingly, it is unclear whether it is to say confidence in the Warring States period or arrogance to have Ji Yuan practice a body technique with an unknown origin. While the high-ranking officials of Ziyuan and Navy were still immersed in the shock of breathing, Morin already knew that Peach Rabbit had practiced the water-breathing technique. Feeling the power emanating from his body, Morin picked up his long sword from the ground and swung it towards the front. Breath of Water, Type 4, Strike Tide. The sword in Morin's hand was only lightly waved, and everything around his body was destroyed like a tsunami. Now every move of Morin is exactly the same as the action of Guion. However, the power of the water-breathing technique is now slightly stronger than what Morin had created before. Others may not notice the difference, but as the founder, Morin can feel it. Indeed, compared to relying on one's own cultivation to create one's own techniques, reaping others' efforts is the fastest way to practice. A smile appeared at the corner of Morin's mouth. He is not from the world of pirates, he is a traveler. Like other travelers, he received a gift from the original world as soon as he traveled. The supernatural insight. With this ability, Morin has created many techniques based on the anime and variety shows he has watched in his past life. The breathing techniques and Vajra that Morin previously announced were just insignificant lower body techniques. The Rox Pirates are just a transition for Morin. How could he possibly reveal his true high-end physical skills to these pirates? There are more than just these two body techniques in Morin, and he has practiced dozens of them himself. Compared to the wide variety of physical exercises, Morin discovered one of the biggest problems, which was that he didn't have enough time. If they are ordinary people, they will abandon some physical skills and specialize in several powerful ones. But Morin is different. Morin wants everything. For this reason, after much contemplation, Morin developed a physical technique called Daoxin Demon. Morin first created the spiritual cultivation method to make his spirit strong enough to cultivate demon seeds. Afterwards, using the body techniques scattered on the sea as a magical medium, the cultivator and the living cauldron are subtly induced and connected through the magical medium. This is also the reason why Morin was so generous in disclosing his created body spells to the Rox Pirates. If there are no benefits, who would be willing to be the scapegoat? The Rox Pirates are the most powerful pirate group on this vast sea, and their number of pirates is also the highest. With so many pirates practicing together for Morin, Morin's diamond immortal skill and breathing technique will soon reach their ultimate level. What Morin didn't expect was that the hands of the world government were extended so long. Just as Morin had created the breathing technique, the world government stole the telephone worm as a demon seed and had it trained by the senior naval officers. The reason why Ziyuan was able to successfully practice the water-breathing technique so quickly is also closely related to Morin's demon seed. This is also why Morin was on Beehive Island, but he could sense that it was Guion who practiced the water-breathing technique. Only body techniques containing the Morin demon seed have the possibility of successful cultivation, and there is no possibility for others to replicate them. As long as the demon seeds work hard to cultivate, Morin's strength can be easily improved. This is also why Morin did not stop it. Morin is not afraid of others practicing the body techniques he created. The more people who practice his body techniques, the faster Morin becomes stronger. Whether it's pirates or navy, bounty hunters or people from the dark world, as long as they want to cultivate, Morin is welcome. While the demon seeds can contribute strength to Morin, Morin can also accelerate their growth by instilling power into them. When the demon seeds practice the techniques created by Morin to the extreme, Morin can instantly harvest them as leeks. As long as Morin thinks, it's just a matter of thought. This is a subtle process, and only when the demon seeds practice the body technique spread by Morin and gradually reach a deeper level, will the connection between Morin and the demon seeds become closer. Just like the current Guion, Morin can only vaguely sense Guion's identity and her position. The first demon breed developed by Morin was Kaido. Morin can not only sense Kaido's position, but also feel his emotional fluctuations and psychological thoughts. Perhaps it's time to further strengthen Kaido. Feeling Kedo's progress in breathing techniques, Morin thought to himself. Collection, flowers, and review tickets are important data for new books. Please support them with flowers and review tickets. 1 or 2 flowers are not enough. Please support them. Author, thank you. Chapter 5 Kado. I want to make progress, begging Lord Morin. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Kaido is a ghost race, and his body is already much stronger than the ordinary race on the sea. This is also why he became the strongest warrior in the kingdom of Woka at the age of 15. His outstanding physique gave Kaido a natural blessing when practicing Vajra without any harm. That's also why while others were still on the first and second floors of King Kong, Kedo had already reached the 6th floor. Nowadays, ordinary attacks have no effect on Kaido, and even the attacks of naval lieutenants cannot break through Kaido's defense. But that's not enough, far from enough. What Morin wants is the shock of the entire ocean towards his creative body technique. Now, Captain Bai and others are only amazed by the physical skills he has created, and they have no desire to practice. Because they believe that Morin's physical skills have no effect on general level and those who are about to enter general level. Morin wants to let them know that their ideas are wrong, and he also has terrifying body spells in his hands that can be practiced with general level combat power. Previously, Morin also considered taking the initiative to use his cherished cultivation techniques to cultivate them and turn them into leeks. But Bai Beard and others are a group of unruly guys, and if they do so, it will raise their guard. Only by actively asking them to seek Morin can they help with their own cultivation. It's time to execute the first step plan now. When little fan Kaido heard Morin say he wanted to help him practice, he immediately appeared in front of Morin. Kaido, how have you been practicing breathing techniques lately? Morin asked Kaido in front of him. I tried practicing breathing techniques, but found that they seemed to have no effect on me. Upon hearing Morin's question, Kedo scratched his head in confusion. Unlike when the Vajra cultivators were not bad, while others were still honing their bodies in the first and second layers, Kaido had already advanced to the 4th layer with great fanfare. Now others can use breathing techniques to fight, and even some top players can use the power of elements. No matter how Kaido operates his breathing method, his body has no response at all. This indicates that your physique has been tempered to a considerable level, and breathing techniques can no longer improve your physique. Morin patted Kaido's incredibly solid muscles and said to Kaido. I want to make progress, please ask Lord Morin to teach me. Kaido knelt down fiercely in front of Morin, his eyes filled with a desire to become stronger. Kaido came from the kingdom of Woka and became the strongest warrior in the country at the age of 10. The king of the kingdom of Woka sold Kaido to the navy in order to participate in the World Conference, but Kaido later escaped and was offered a reward of 70 million belly. Afterwards, when he was hungry, he would fall into a trap and eat his fill before leaving again. This is Kedo's daily routine for the first 15 years. It can be said that besides his parents, Morin was the first person to treat him well. Morin not only taught him martial arts for free, but now he is also being called in to guide him in his body techniques. Kaido doesn't know how to thank Morin anymore. The Rox Pirates are all cold-blooded and ruthless pirates, but Morin is different. Kaido, your diamond is not bad and has already reached the 6th level. Let me help you break through the 7th level. Morin's breath surged all over his body, and Kaido felt a shiver. Now Morin looks like the vice-captain of the Rox Pirates. Previously, Morin's handsome face and elegant demeanor made him look more like a wealthy young master. Activating the diamond is not bad. With Morin's low drink, Kedo's whole body turned golden. Morin's index finger pressed against Kaido's forehead, and Kaido felt a strong passion join his body. The golden light on his body became even stronger. After the brilliant golden light, the golden light on Kaido's body became even brighter. Moreover, he felt that his strength and physical strength had greatly increased. Is this the 7th layer of Vajra's immortality? Feeling the powerful force in his body, Kaido's tone was somewhat incredulous. Although he only broke through one layer, his strength is now more than twice as strong as before. Now your strength is comparable to the captains of John and Wang Ji. Morin felt Kedo's breath and said to him. As the team captains of the Rox Pirates, the strength of those captains also varies. Whitebeard and Golden Lion are the first team, followed closely by Charlotte Lingling. Afterwards came the likes of John and Wang Ji. Of course, non-combat captains like scientist Bakingam Stussy cannot be compared in terms of combat effectiveness. I now have captain-level strength. Upon hearing Morin's words, Kado was once again shocked. Previously, he joined the Rox Pirates as an intern, and it wasn't long before he had the power to compete with the captain. Yes, you already have captain-level combat power, but you don't have the fame of captain-level. You need to use a big event to boost your fame. Morin said to Kaido. So what should I do, Lord Morin? Kaido is just reckless on the outside, but in fact, he is very shrewd. When Morin was practicing his Tish body technique, he had already guessed that Morin definitely needed him to do something. This is the normal state. If Morin doesn't ask for anything, then Kado will be uneasy. Now is the time for the world's government member countries to pay tribute to the Tianlong people with the heavenly gold. Go plunder the heavenly gold. Morin said lightly. Heavenly gold. Upon hearing this word, even a naturally bold guy like Kaido couldn't help but shrink his pupils. Heavenly gold refers to the annual tribute of a portion of treasures from the world's government member countries to the world nobility of the Tianlong people. 170 member countries will deliver their treasures to government naval escort ships, to send heavenly gold to the Holy Land of Maria. This is the treasure of the heavenly dragon people. If someone dares to attack the heavenly gold, it may trigger a general's attack. The consequences of plundering the heavenly gold are too serious, and no pirate has dared to do so in all these years. I like this task, Lord Morin. After a brief shock, Kaido became excited. No one has ever attacked the heavenly gold on this vast sea. As the first pirate to attack the heavenly gold, as long as Kaido does not die, his reputation will immediately spread throughout the sea. This is the mission of the vice-captain of the Rox Pirates. Since Morin asked him to do it, Morin would never let him die in the hands of a naval general. Behind him, there is a big shot as a backing, and Kaido is not afraid at all. Kaido also wants to see how much difference there is between his combat power and that of a general level. Today's fifth watch, a 2,000-word chapter is presented. Collection, flowers, and review tickets are important data for new books. Please support them with flowers and review tickets. 1 or 2 flowers are not too few, and 100 or 1,000 flowers are not too many. Chapter 6. One person charging into the formation, Kaido's personal show, seeking. You are listening at novelfull.audio. On the sea of the New World, a large ship carrying the World Government logo and the Tianlong Man logo is sailing on the sea. There are only 2 types of ships that can fly these 2 flags simultaneously. One type is the boat of the Tianlong people, another type is a ship that transports gold from the sky. Judging from the ordinary appearance of this ship, it is impossible for it to be the former, so the result is very obvious. This is a ship that transports gold from the sky. Around this ship, there are 3 naval vessels providing full escort. Everyone, highest alert. This is already close to the territory of the Rox Pirates. Be careful of the Rox Pirates plundering the sky's gold. On the large ship, a rear admiral solemnly ordered to the naval soldiers guarding the ships. General Moore, plundering the heavenly gold would startle the general. How could there be such a brave pirate on this vast sea? As soon as the rear admiral finished speaking, a man dressed in a gorgeous suit and holding a glass of red wine swayed before him. Upon seeing this man, General Moore's brow furrowed slightly. The man in front of me is named Falk, and he is a world government-appointed lieutenant general. It was said to be an appointment, but in fact, he came to gild the escort team. Not only him, but also a large part of all the teams of the world government escorting heavenly gold are aristocratic children of this kind. After all, everyone knows that the heavenly gold is a tribute to the Tianlong people, and even the pirates are unwilling to cause such trouble. Even if there are small-scale pirates, naval vessels guarding around transport ships will still take action. The transportation itinerary of these aristocratic children was like a vacation, and along the way, General Moore had become numb to the various brainless operations of these aristocratic children. General Fake, the Rox Pirates are different from other pirate groups. They are a group of lunatics who are qualified to fight against the world government. Although General Moore looked down upon these aristocratic children, he patiently recounted to General Falk. Then the security work here will be handed over to Lieutenant General Moore. It's really reassuring to partner with General Moore. General Fake patted Moore's shoulder and walked forward. It was obvious that he hadn't heard a word from Moore just now. General Moore just sighed helplessly, and then he began commanding the Navy to strengthen their guard. General Moore, there's a situation in the southwest direction. Suddenly, the sound of the lookout hand on the left frigate made all the navies nervous. Is it a pirate ship belonging to the Rox Pirates crew? General Moore asked the lookout, while his hand had already grasped the phone worm in his arms. Every admiral who transports heavenly gold will have a telephone worm that directly connects to Admiral Steelbones. Even before they set off, Marshal Steelbone had instructed them. If you encounter a pirate ship belonging to the Rox Pirates, make this call as soon as possible. Steelbone Air will ask nearby naval commanders to provide support. It's not the ship of the Rox Pirates. The words from the lookout made him slightly relax his grip on the phone worm's hand, but the next moment, his heart lifted. This is a man who actually swam straight towards us in the sea. The words of the lookout gave General Moore a very ominous premonition. At this point, even Lieutenant General Moore could see the man through the telescope. This man has two horns, and although he is swimming in the sea, his speed is not slower than that of a naval ship. Looking at this man's goal, he came straight to the transport ship of gold in the sky. This man is Kedo with a bounty of 70 million Bailey. When Moore saw Kaido, he recognized it. The initial bounty was 70 million Bailey, and Kaido is also considered a pirate nova. Moore is not afraid of Kaido's strength, he is afraid of Kaido's background. Kaido has joined the Rox Pirates as an intern. Now that Kaido appears here, it means that the Rox Pirates have also arrived. Fire the gun and kill this guy. Don't let this guy get close to the gold transport ship in the sky. As soon as General Moore recognized Kaido, he gave an order to the naval ship. Boom boom boom. The Navy warship immediately fired at Kaido. But Kedo's body size is much smaller than that of a warship, and coupled with his fast speed, it is difficult for the Navy to hit him. A series of shells exploded water columns around his body, and no shell could hit Kaido. Was it discovered so quickly? Kaido looked around at the constantly exploding shells, his mouth wide open. At the next moment, Kaido headed straight towards the naval ship at a faster speed. These warships are too annoying, Kaido decided to solve them first. This monster is coming, fire. Hurry up. Fire. Seeing Kaido approaching, the Navy warship covered Kaido with another round of artillery fire. Because the distance between Kaido and the warship has increased, the hit rate of naval gunfire has also greatly increased. Finally, a shell hit Kedo straight. Boom. Accompanied by a fierce explosion, Kedo's body was also submerged. Finally solved this monster, I don't know where the other pirates of the Rox Pirates gang are. Major Moore just saw the shell hit Kedo's head directly. He thought Kedo had been killed and began searching for other directions. In his view, Kedo was just a bait, and the true attack of the Rox Pirates had not yet arrived. At the next moment, he sensed something with a domineering aura, and suddenly looked in the direction of Kaido. Kaido surprisingly rushed out of the smoke and dust, his whole body unscathed, and he continued to charge straight towards the Navy ship. How could this be possible? Is this guy still human, using his body to catch shells? General Moore was shocked by Kedo's physique. Keep firing. He once again ordered the Navy. The Navy's shells once again covered Kaido. Kaido and the warship are getting closer, and now he has entered the range of the gun. The Navy is holding long guns and constantly shooting at Kaido. In that moment, Kedo was hit no less than 10 times. You guys are really annoying, Marines. Kaido's body emitted a golden light, and he directly used the golden light without damage. Afterwards, Kaido rushed straight towards the Navy without hesitation. Neither shells nor bullets can leave a trace on this man's body, as if he has been immune to physical attacks. Finally, Kaido arrived in front of the first naval ship. He didn't even stop, he used the horn on his head to fiercely collide with the Navy ship, which was so rudely torn in half by Kaido. This is Kedo's first solo show, and the formidable defense of King Kong has shocked every Navy. Today's first update, a 2,000-word chapter is presented. The current data is very bleak, and I don't know if it's because the author's level is too poor or if the rules of Feilu have changed. Looking at the dismal data, it left the author feeling very uncertain. During the new book period, data is everything. If you think this book is okay, please support it. A single flower is not too little, and 100 or 1,000 flowers are not too many. Seeking monthly tickets, tips, evaluation tickets, flowers, comments, everything. The author is striving to code characters, seeking support. Chapter 7. The Immortal King Kong, Kaido, who passes the level without any damage. You are listening at novel full.audio. Surprisingly, he smashed the warship in half with his head. Is this guy a beast? Seeing Kaido's operation, General Potter couldn't help but shrink his pupils. Kaido's physique shocked Potter greatly, as he had never seen such a powerful physique before. How powerful is this guy who can break a huge naval warship with just one head collision? Is this the terror of the Rox Pirates? An intern has such a powerful force, how strong are formal cadres? The other two warships were also shocked and they saw the inhumane scene of Kaido. He's coming over. A Navy officer watched as Kaido swam towards them, his fingers pointing towards Kaido trembling a bit. Counter-attack, don't let this guy get close to the warship. If this guy gets close to the warship, we'll all be killed by him. Other navies have also launched attacks on Kaido, and even a few Navy soldiers with good water combat skills have jumped into the sea to kill Kaido. It's useless. The Navy's methods are all useless. Kaido faced the Navy's attack directly, and he didn't even dodge. Quickly, Kaido arrived in front of the second naval ship. Under the horrified gaze of the Navy, the second naval ship was also dismantled into fragments. Kaido went to kill the third warship again. At this moment, Potter realized the terror of Kedo. This man's strength is too strong, even he is not a match for Kaido. So he no longer hesitated, he directly dialed Steelbone Kong's phone. Marshal Steelbone Sky, the Rox Pirates are here to plunder the heavenly gold. After General Potter reported his location, he hung up the phone worm. Now the third naval ship is in danger, and Potter cannot watch as it is also destroyed by Kaido. Don't be too arrogant, pirate. Potter chased after Kaido with his moon steps. Although Kaido is in the sea, his swimming speed is not slower than Potter's flying speed at all. The Navy warship saw Kaido chasing after them, and the Navy began piloting the warship to escape backwards. But it's useless, Kaido's swimming speed is much faster than naval ships. As Kaido swam past a naval ship, the last one was also destroyed by Kaido. The navies have all fallen into the water, and those naval-capable individuals have already sunk to the bottom of the sea. Although Kaido had only one person, he caused such serious damage to the Navy. After destroying the Navy warship, Kaido leapt out of the water and flew onto the last transport ship. Kaido also knows how to walk on the moon, and his speed is much faster than that of General Potter. By the time Porter arrived at the transport ship, several naval and government forces who had rebelled against Kaido had already been smashed into flesh and mud by Kaido with his wolf tooth club. The remaining guards were already frightened by the bloody scene before them, and they had lost their fighting spirit and hid in various corners trembling. "You're coming too slowly, Navy. You can only watch as the warship is destroyed by me, you can't do anything." When General Potter flew back to the transport ship, Kedo glanced at the timid government guards on board and turned around to mock Potter. Kaido's words were extremely insulting, and General Potter instantly felt his anger explode. "Finger the gun." Potter's fingers were coated with a layer of armed aura, and his fingers poked straight towards Kaido. Kaido did not dodge, he didn't even use his armed aura, he just met Potter's finger gun with his own chest straight. Chong! Porter's finger gun and Kedo's chest clashed with the sound of metal and iron clashing. Potter's blow surprisingly did not have any effect on Kaido. How could this be? Does this guy also have a steel balloon body like Charlotte Lingling? Potter felt the piercing pain in his fingers, and his heart was once again shaken. "Your strength is good, this finger pokes me a bit itchy." Kaido lowered his head to look at the rear admiral, who smiled at him. Looking at the stunning gaze of the Navy in front of him, Kaido felt that all the hardships he had endured in order to cultivate the Vajra without being bad were worth it. Just now, he didn't even use his military prowess. He just relied on Kong to withstand the attack of this naval lieutenant. This indicates that the defense of the 7th layer is even stronger than he thought. "Navy, if your strength is only like this, then you're dead today," Kaido said to General Potter. "Kill him, quickly kill this monster, Major Potter." Seeing Potter's figure, General Falk shouted as if he had found a savior. In this escort mission, Falk saw General Potter take action, and with just one sword, he split a huge Sea King in half. No matter how strong this man is, he can still compare to the King of Shanghai. Falk decided to resign from his position when he returned to Marjoya after the mission ended. "I didn't expect that there were really brave pirates who dared to plunder the heavenly gold. This kind of escort mission is no longer safe." "You seem to say a lot." Kaido turned his head to look at Fake, and the wolf tooth stick in his hand was thrown directly at General Fake. "Shave." General Potter appeared in front of General Falk, and he used his long sword to knock Kedo's fangs flying. "Pirate, with me here, you don't want to harm anyone." General Potter pointed his long sword at Kaido and shouted at him. He just wanted to use the Navy Type 6 to break through Kaido's physique in the attack just now. In terms of destructive power, he is the strongest with a sword. Who wouldn't know how to talk big? Kaido's fist hit Potter directly, and Potter showed no mercy. He used a slashing strike to strike Kaido's body. Kaido's fist hit Potter's long sword, which instantly became slightly curved. Afterwards, Potter's body was knocked upside down by Kedo's strange power, and his body smashed the wooden door and fell into an unknown room. And Kaido used his own body to forcefully receive Potter's slash, and only a white mark appeared on his body. Unexpectedly injured. Kaido looked down at the white mark, and blood slowly appeared in his eyes. After being scratched on his body, Kaido instantly became angry. "You just shouted the loudest, right?" Kedo's tall figure covered Fake, and then Fake, whose legs were trembling with fear, was lifted up by Kedo's one-hand grip on his head. "You see, I've already said that you can't do anything." Faced with General Potter crawling out of the ruins, Kedo only exerted a slight force, and General Falk's head was crushed like a tomato by him. Chapter 8. The Vortex about to sweep the world, seeking flowers. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. As Kaido said, although Porter wished to shatter Kaido into pieces, he couldn't do anything in the face of Kaido's strong physique. His attack was simply unable to break through Kedo's defense. Potter is just an ordinary lieutenant general in the Navy, he is not an elite lieutenant general. Faced with Kaido's monster-like body, even if he had already used all his strength, it was like scratching an itch for Kaido. Kaido doesn't even need to use a wolf tooth stick, he can suppress Potter solely through physical strength. If it were just Potter alone, he could escape alone when he found himself at a disadvantage. But now there are still so many navies and Sky Gold, he can only grit his teeth and fight against Kaido. He has reported the situation here to the Navy headquarters, hoping that the Navy's reinforcements can arrive here before he is defeated. While Potter was still persevering, his news had already been transmitted back to the Navy headquarters. As long as he perseveres until the arrival of reinforcements, they still have hope. While Porter was still persevering, Steel Bones had already found reinforcements. In order to cope with the increasingly rampant Rox Pirates, Steel Bone Air sent a naval general substitute, Black Wrist Zefa, to defend the New World. Zefa is proficient in the 6 styles of the Navy, and due to his powerful wrist strength and armed aura, Zefa now has the title of Black Wrist. Although Zefa does not yet have the title of a general, he actually has the strength of a general. Just like the current issue of Navy Iron Fist Carp. Although he had the strength of a general, he repeatedly refused to become a general. So far, the Navy only has one person on the surface, General Xiancher Warring States. Brew brew, brew brew. Zefa was writing vigorously when a phone worm on his desk suddenly rang. Seeing this phone worm, Zefa frowned. This is his dedicated phone worm with Admiral Steelbone Kong. Once this phone worm rings, it indicates that something big has happened at sea. Marshal Steelbone Kong, I am Zefa. Zefa picked up the microphone and lowered his voice. As the phone was answered, both of their phone worms became the same as the two of them. Although they cannot see each other, they can still tell each other's expressions from the phone worm. Lox made a move on the Heavenly Gold. The one who started it was Kedo, an intern from the Rox Pirates. Steelbone Kong did not chat with Zefa, he directly spoke up the matter. What? How dare the Rox Pirates have such courage? But how could they send interns to take action on such an important matter? When Zefa heard the news, his eyebrows furrowed tightly. The importance of Heavenly Gold is not only known to the common people on this vast sea, but also to the pirates of the Rox Pirates. If they really want to plunder the Heavenly Gold, they will at least send a captain to take action. Now let an intern take action. Doesn't it look down too much on the Navy that guards the Golden Sky? Each Sky Gold transport ship is escorted by 3 naval warships. And every transport ship is accompanied by a rear admiral to ensure its safety. Zefa has also heard of Kaido's name. Even if he is a monster, how could he possibly defeat a naval lieutenant? According to our intelligence, Kaido easily destroyed 3 Navy ships alone, and now General Potter has fallen into a fierce battle. Steelbone Kong revealed the latest intelligence. Zefa's eyes flickered with shock. Kaido is just a kid under 20 years old, isn't he? He just joined the Rox Pirates and has such terrifying combat power. We must defeat Kaido before he brings the Heavenly Gold back to Hive Island. This terrifying monster must not allow him to continue growing in the Rox Pirates. I want to capture him and push him into the city. Zefa's arms were bulging with veins, and his voice unconsciously increased by a degree. The Heavenly Gold is the tax revenue of the franchise country for over a year and a half, and cannot be stolen by pirates. Steelbone Kong's words are full of determination, and Zefa also knows the importance of it. After all, this matter involves the Rox Pirates, and to prevent accidents, I will let Cap go too. Steelbone Kong added again. Leave it to me, Marshal Steelbone Kong. I won't let the Rox Pirates succeed. After Zefa finished speaking, he hung up the phone worm. Everyone gather. After Zefa hung up the phone with Steelbone Kong, the naval assembly number in this base rang. This is the highest level assembly order of the Navy, where the Navy gathers towards naval vessels at the fastest speed possible. Soon, several warships sailed towards the direction of the Sky Gold transport ship. The movement in Zefa was significant, and other forces on the sea were all alarmed. Although the current New World is dominated by the Rox Pirates, they have not unified the new world. Soon, they found out the reason for Zefa's deployment. But everyone who knows this news will shudder at the first moment they hear it. The Rox Pirates have taken action against the heavenly gold. This news spread like the wind throughout the entire new world. Rox actually took action against Tianjin. Is this news accurate? A man wearing a red robe with long nose hair like a mustache asked the person next to him. The person next to him has golden hair, round glasses, and a long sword pinned to his waist, giving him a gentle aura. Beside them, a man with sunglasses and a long black braid was steering. These three people are the golden combination of gold, silver, and copper in Roger's Pirates. Captain Gerd Roger. Deputy Captain Silbaz Riley. Seafarer Starbucks Jabba. Although the number of Roger's pirates is not large, they are also one of the pirate groups capable of fighting against the Rox Pirates. This intelligence was told to me by Xia Qi. Her intelligence network is the strongest on this vast sea, there can be no mistake. Raleigh helped his glasses and said to Roger. Xia Qi is the captain of the 9 snake pirates, the emperor of Amazon Lily, and also an intelligence dealer on this vast sea. Although this woman has a wicked taste for extortion, she never sells fake information. These crazy people from the Rox Pirates are really crazy. Jabba took a big sip of the wine next to him and sighed. Not only the Roger Pirates, but also other forces on the sea feel that big things are approaching. Kaido didn't know either, but due to a command from Morin, the whole world was engulfed in a great vortex, and he was the origin of the vortex. Today's third shift, a 2,000-word chapter is presented. During the new book period, data is everything. If you think this book is okay, please support it. A single flower is not too little, and 100 or 1,000 flowers are not too many. Seeking monthly tickets, tips, evaluation tickets, flowers, comments, everything. The author is striving to code characters, seeking support. Chapter 9. The arrival of Zefa, Zefa's terrifying speculation. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Although Zefa had already rushed towards the position of the gold transport ship in the sky at the fastest speed, General Potter still did not persist until Zefa arrived and was defeated. Boom! With Kaido striking another hand knife, this time General Potter finally couldn't get up. Kaido's every strike was extremely terrifying, and General Potter struggled with every response. In the end, he exhausted his strength and collapsed. The other guards trembled with fear when they saw this scene. I don't know who led the head to jump into the sea, and other guards also started jumping into the sea one after another. To General Potter's surprise, Kaido did not stop them. He stood on the ship and began to mock the guards loudly. Originally, General Potter thought that after Kado defeated him, the other pirates of the Rox Pirates would appear here and sail the ship away. To his surprise, there seemed to be no one else from the Rox Pirates except for Kedo. This operation only has one more person, Kai. Moreover, Kaido seemed unaware that the Navy would have reinforcements, so he did not take the ship away. Instead, he searched for food on the ship and began to feast and drink. What exactly is he going to do? Is this guy really stupid, or is it a conspiracy by the Rox Pirates against the Navy? General Potter felt a faint sense of unease. But now he is exhausted, and he has also been severely injured by Kaido and cannot move. He can't do anything now. Lord Morin. Kado stood up abruptly and shouted behind General Potter. What? Has even the co-captain of the Rox Pirates arrived? A cold sweat appeared on Potter's forehead. He has never seen Morin, but he has heard of Morin's name. The vice-captain of the Rox Pirates, the creator of the recently circulated breathing technique in the Navy. Potter also tried practicing Morin's water-breathing technique. How could such legendary figures also appear here? You did a great job, Kedo. A gentleman's voice sounded behind Potter. This voice was very close to him, and Potter didn't even notice when Morin appeared behind him. When did Morin appear and why did he not notice it at all? Before he could figure out the problem, he felt a slight numbness in the back of his brain, and then he knew nothing. He was knocked unconscious by Morin's kick. "It's Lord Morin, you taught me strong physical skills. I didn't use the weapon color and domineering aura, but this guy didn't break through my defense." Kaido scratched his head, his face full of a silly smile. "Black Wrist Zefa has already arrived here, he will be your opponent this time." Morin also received intelligence from Zefa that he had arrived here before Zefa arrived. "Lord Morin, I won't let you down." Kaido did not feel intimidated by Zefa's name, and at this moment his eyes were filled with war intent. Kaido was originally a person who enjoyed fighting, and even when facing the top combat power of the sea, he would not be afraid. And Kaido is just reckless, he's not stupid. Morin has created so many powerful body techniques, and what he lacks the most is followers. If Kaido cannot demonstrate his value, Kaido has a premonition that his fate with Morin will come to an end. Kaido's goal is the pinnacle of the ocean, and he finally encountered the big tree of Morin. He must firmly grasp it no matter how hard it is. And now it is time for him to become famous in the sea, and Kaido has already made up his mind. Unless Zefa kills him, Kaido will not retreat. Soon, black shadows of several ships appeared in the sky. It's a naval warship. It's General Zefa. A highly emotional naval officer looked at the sail with Zefa's name hanging on the middle flagship, his eyes filled with excitement. "We're saved." The navies and world government forces swimming in the navy also saw naval warships, with smiles on their faces. They have been swimming in the vast sea for half a day now, and many people have been unable to resist drowning and drowning. There are no islands here, they have no place to settle down. If it weren't for the arrival of the Zefa warship, their fate would have been to turn into seaweed shavings in the sea. Save them all. Seeing so many sailors drowning, Zefa's face looked very ugly. The Navy has not experienced such a disastrous defeat for a long time. They didn't even scratch the enemy's hair, but were completely destroyed by the pirates themselves. Soon, one navy after another was rescued. The naval staff inquired about the experiences of these sailors, and soon a battle report appeared in front of Zefa. Zefa just glanced at him and his brow furrowed. After he finished reading everything, he let out a long sigh. The Rox Pirates have produced another monster with a physique like Charlotte Lingling. I don't know if this monster's physique is naturally so strong, or if his practice of Morin's Vajra immortal body technique has made his physique so strong. Zefa's brow furrowed as he pondered the question. If Kaido's steel muscles and iron bones are just his natural physique, Zefa is not worried at all. This probability is very small, and only a few people in the whole world have it. World governments have never lacked top-notch combat capabilities, and they are never afraid of such strong individuals. But if Zefa's second guess, then things will be troublesome. Since Kaido can cultivate to this level through Morin's physical skills, other pirates can also cultivate to this level. 1 or 2 pirate navies like this can handle it, but there are hundreds or even thousands of such entities. No matter how strong the world government is, it cannot be stopped. It's a bit early to think about this now. Zefa can only determine what kind of Kaido he is if he has personally fought against Kaido. "General Zefa, we are here." Zefa's deputy knocked on the door of Zefa's office. Zefa only then realized that he could already see the gold transport ship in the sky from the window. Unexpectedly, Kaido did not move the ship after driving away all the people on board. Is plundering the sky's gold just a cover? Does the Rox Pirates have another purpose? When he saw this ship, Zefa suddenly felt a sense of unease in his heart. Previously, he thought that the Rox Pirates were trying to create a big event by plundering the sky's gold to discredit the world government. Now it seems that Zefa's thinking is a bit shallow. "You're finally here, Black Wrist Zefa." When Zefa's warship arrived, Kaido on the transport ship also stood up with a wolf tooth stick. Today's fourth update, a 2,000-word chapter is presented. During the new book period, data is everything. If you think this book is okay, please support it. A single flower is not too little, and 100 or 1,000 flowers are not too many. Seeking monthly tickets, tips, evaluation tickets, flowers, comments, everything. The author is striving to code characters, seeking support. Chapter 10. Kaido vs Zefa, seeking flowers, giving rewards. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Is that guy Kedo? Looking at the young man leaning on his wolf-tooth stick, Zefa took off his coat with justice written on his back. He is ready to take action with Kaido. Suddenly, Zefa's pupils contracted slightly, and his eyes stared fixedly at the man sitting next to Kaido. From a physical perspective, this man is not particularly noticeable next to Kaido, who is 5 or 6 meters tall. Even Zefa's observations and aura did not detect Morin. Zefa asked himself, his aura cannot be said to be the strongest on the sea, but even a general-level powerhouse cannot be invisible under his aura. But this man did it. Before Zefa saw Morin, Zefa's aura only sensed 2 people. One is Kaido, who is holding a wolf-tooth club to cultivate his momentum, and the other is General Potter, who has been seriously injured and fallen into a coma. This man Zefa, who is invisible under the aura of seeing and hearing, is not unfamiliar either. Zefa has seen his photo. He is the deputy captain of the Rox Pirates and the master of physical arts, Morin. The co-captains of the Rox Pirates appeared here, and Zefa was even more certain of his guess. Although there is no intelligence about Morin's actions on this sea, Morin's ability to secure a position as co-captain in the Rox Pirates, and the captains of the Golden Lion and others did not object, which is enough to demonstrate Morin's strength. With Morin here, Zefa may not be able to bring Kaido back to the City of Advancement. Is this Zefa from his youth? Zefa was wearing a navy uniform, with short purple hair and a determined look in his eyes. This is Molin's first encounter with a senior naval officer. General Zefa, defeat this guy quickly. It's this guy who destroyed 3 warships, take them to the City of Propulsion. Pirates, have you ever heard of the Black Wristband Zefa? Your end has come. Before Zefa could say anything, the world government soldiers who were rescued by him began to shout loudly. These people were originally nobles, but they almost got killed by a pirate. Recalling their unbearable appearance in front of Kaido before, they wished Zefa could kill them now. Zefa did not directly confront Morin and Kaido, but instead began to angrily rebuke Morin. Morin, do you know that if you plunder the heavenly gold, how many franchised countries on this sea will go bankrupt and eventually become non-franchised countries? Just because of your plunder, millions or even millions of people will have their homes destroyed and their lives destroyed. Zefa's words were full of justice, and as soon as he spoke, he nailed Morin to the pillar of shame. Zefa's trick of deceiving others is still acceptable, but if he wants to use morality to kidnap Morin, he is still a bit inexperienced. Funny, the person who collects the heavenly gold is the Tianlong people. You don't want the Tianlong people to cancel the heavenly gold system to reduce the pressure on the franchise country, but you come to condemn me. It is your navy and the world government army that protect the heavenly gold. Your strength is not as good as others, but you want to use morality to kidnap me. Make it clear, we are pirates. Morin said to Zefa with disdain. Upon hearing Morin's words, Zefa's expression froze. As Morin said, if it weren't for this unreasonable heavenly gold system, there wouldn't have been what happened today. But canceling the heavenly gold is not something that a general can offer to the world government. Not to mention a lieutenant general, even if he becomes a general, he does not have the authority to become a naval marshal. The Tianlong people are the gods of this vast sea, and apart from the 5 old stars, no one else can control them at all. Who is this guy named Morin? Why is that big guy named Kedo standing behind him? Morin's speech caught the attention of those navies, and they also discovered Morin. Don't you think this guy's name is very familiar? He's the co-captain of the Rox Pirates. Someone called out Morin's identity, and the navy on the warship suddenly heard a sound of gasping air. At this moment, all the sounds on the warship disappeared. The vice-captain of the Rox Pirates, this kind of fierce person is not something they can slander. A Kado almost killed them all. If this man named Morin takes action, will they still have a way to survive? Lord Morin is right. We are pirates. It's ridiculous that you're trying to persuade pirates. Kaido saw a hint of impatience in Morin's expression, so he ran straight toward Zefa with his wolf-tooth club in hand. Kaido's speed was extremely fast, and he almost instantly appeared in front of Zefa as he stepped on the moon step. Kaido's face showed a cold smile, and he held a wolf-toothed stick in both hands and fiercely swung it towards Zefa. Zefa crossed his arms to block, and as Kedo's fangs were about to come into contact with his arms, Zefa's arms turned black. This is Zefa's armed aura. Zefa relies on his own physique and armed aura on this sea. Kaido's full swing did not make Zefa take a step back, and then Zefa grabbed Kaido's fangs with his right hand, and his left punch hit Kaido's chest directly. Boom! An invisible wave exploded behind Kaido, and the sea was stirred up with waves of several tens of meters. Zefa's power was already so terrifying, but he, like General Potter, did not break through Kaido's defense. What a powerful force, this layer of golden material has a defense that is as domineering as armed colors. Zefa was also surprised by the golden glow on Kaido's body. I didn't expect that in this sea, besides armed color dominance, there are other body techniques that can also achieve similar effects. Your strength is very strong, but as long as you cannot break through my defense, everything you do is in vain. Kaido patted his chest and swung his fist towards Zefa. Kaido doesn't like to take advantage. Since Zefa is empty-handed, he also fights against Zefa empty-handed. Kaido, come and give it a try. How's my strike going? The armed colors on Zefa's arms became even darker, and Morin even saw some red substances. Ming ****''''''''''''''''''''''''''''''''''''**'************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************* pushed back by him. Directly attacking the interior without damaging the exterior is an advanced application of armed color dominance, really skilled. Morin recognized at a glance that Zefa was using advanced applications of armed color dominance, which in this case could produce the effect of hitting objects in the air. Zefa saw that Kaido's surface was indestructible, and he immediately found a way to destroy the interior of Kaido's body. If it weren't for Kaido's strong physique, perhaps Kaido would have vomited blood now. Today's first update, a 2,000-word chapter is presented. The current data is very bleak, and I don't know if it's because the author's level is too poor or if the rules of Feilu have changed. Looking at the dismal data, it left the author feeling very uncertain. During the new book period, data is everything. If you think this book is okay, please support it. A single flower is not too little, and 100 or 1,000 flowers are not too many. Seeking monthly tickets, tips, evaluation tickets, flowers, comments, everything. The author is striving to code characters, seeking support.